I feel like it's crooked. You're crooked on me, big dog. What's going on, y'all? My name is Chris, and I am your recreation consultant, providing tips, advice, and resources to help you achieve your fitness goals in 2025. Now that we have your goal, whether it's simple or complex, you may be thinking to yourself, okay, what do we do from here? In my opinion, I think the next most important thing is to be very intentional with what space you decide to engage in. It's gonna help you achieve your goal. Now, what does that mean? So when I say space, I'm talking about any fitness, recreation, or wellness space that you're gonna be using to help you achieve your goal. There's multiple out there, but I won't be able to cover all of them in this one video. But what I will do is cover what I think are the main 5 that you probably either heard of or know something a little bit about currently. Let me get some water as I'm talking. The 5 I'm going to talk about are going to be your commercial gyms, your public recreation gyms, your nonprofit gyms, your chemist recreation gyms, your niche gyms. So let's dive into it. What is a commercial gym? I want you to think about your favorite fast food chain. Like food they offer if you're in a different state or city. Does the building look different? Does what you think the experience is going to be is different? No, right? No matter where you go, the food's always going to be the same. The location is going to be built the same. And the experience you feel is going to be pretty consistent. That's kind of the same thing with a commercial gym. When I'm talking about commercial gyms, I want you to think of the names LA Fitness, Anytime Fitness, Planet Fitness. And what these gyms are is that they have multiple locations across the country, across cities, and they're all set up in the same style, and that's to give you the option where you can go anywhere and still engage in the same experience and service. When we talk about what's a pro of a commercial gym, it's really going to be that it has a little bit of everything. They are going to have machine equipment for you to use. You're going to have free weight equipment, and they're usually going to be offering some sort of personal training, group fitness classes, or even some kind of wellness equipment when it comes to a sauna or things like that. A con of this, it's going to be that usually to become a member at a commercial gym, you sign up for membership, but there's usually some type of initiation fee and some form of contract as well. That's how these companies have you tied in for a certain time frame. And there's been multiple experiences that I've had where you sign up for a certain kind of contract or membership, but then something keeps going on with the way you need to cancel is an issue. There's fluctuation in your pricing, and it just sometimes leads to negative experience. So that could be a con. The second type of gym is going to be our community rec centers or your public rec gym. Community rec centers are different than commercial gyms because depending on the city you live, the town you live, they're not all going to be the same when it comes to the services or the community they are serving, because again, community center gyms are meant for the current community. A pro community gyms is that they tend to offer a lot more programming. So when I mean programming, is more than just what can be offered in a fitness gym. So when it comes to programming, they're a lot more tailored to youth and the elderly when it comes to activities such as aquatics, dance classes, and kind of really almost anything you can think about that are just beyond fitness. And so that is one benefit. A con to a community rec center, however, though, is that because it's tailored for the community, you may experience some limitations when it comes to some of the services that maybe you want to pursue specifically. It may not have any niche activities for you to do or anything that may be trendy right now, because usually they have programs that have been running for a couple of years before anything really changes. Some things may seem outdated or slow pace to change. The third type of gym is going to be our nonprofit gym. So these are going to be, think of your YMCA, your YWCA, and any other nonprofit organization. And what these gyms are is that they are also a lot like community rec gyms, are there for the community, but a lot more open. Some of these nonprofit facilities are tied to religious affiliations, so there might be some catering to the community in that way that may be different from a government supported rec center. A pro of nonprofit gyms is really going to be the pricing. These are going to be probably your most affordable memberships, and when it comes to contracts, they may be a lot more flexible as well. A con to nonprofit gyms, similar to community rec centers, is that usually the target is going to be a lot of youth and elderly focused demographics, and also when it comes to maybe some of their services, they're a lot more limited than your traditional community public rec center gym. The fourth type of gym is going to be really targeted for one main demographic, and that's going to be current college student, someone that is attending a 4-year institution of higher education, or maybe even a 2-year institution, so think community college. It's going to be our chemist recreation center. So when it comes to these spaces, some of the things they offer are going to be very unique unique only to these type of facilities. And what I mean by that is that they're going to have hints of both commercial when it comes to the newest equipment and community rec centers when it comes to more programming. But one of the main things that Campus Recreation does really well is that they offer programming that goes beyond our idea of what traditional fitness is. If you want to do something that you classify as wellness that's within your goals, that's not fitness, they're going to be offering other programming. There's going to be programming such as ice skating, esports, club sports. We become a part of like a smaller community within these spaces. There's going to be aquatic, going to be fitness classes, cycling classes, and really almost everything that you can think of when it comes to the concept of recreation, fitness, and wellness. A big pro of this is that these spaces tend to be a lot more inclusive to individuals. And if you are a current student or someone attending a 4-year, 2-year institution, is that you don't have to pay a direct cost. You are paying for that facility through your tuition, but you don't have to pay an additional traditional type of membership when it comes to, say, a commercial gym, public recreation gym, and even sometimes nonprofit gyms as well when it comes to their contracts and the way they do so. Really targeted to that demographic, but also they offer services for both faculty and staff, and sometimes community members as well. So even if you're not a direct student, if you're just around that area in itself, you usually may have a chance of access. A con to these spaces, unfortunately, is that it is targeted and really only meant for current students, alumni, faculty, staff, and maybe sometimes, not always, community members. If you're not someone that falls within one of those subcategories, you can still attend these spaces, usually through a few ways. One common way to do it is that you can be sponsored. And what I mean by sponsorship is that someone that either a current student, an alumni, faculty, staff, or a community member that has a membership already, they can sponsor you. So either they pay for your guest pass or you pay for it, but they sign some type of contractual agreement that basically says if you're in this space, you're going to be with this individual, or if something happens when they're in here, like you're responsible for them, you're going to be tied to them during their experience using these spaces. That's usually the most common way to get into these campus recreation facilities if you're not orally affiliated. Another common way that you won't really be able to access the facilities as far as usage is you can ask for a tour, and most places will allow that, but besides that, they're not gonna let you sneak in a workout. Our fifth type of gym is going to be our niche gym. Just like campus recreation gyms, it's really going to be those niche spaces. When you think of anything when it comes to CrossFit gyms, powerlifting gyms, jiu-jitsu gyms, yoga studios, these spaces are really targeted for a certain type of demographic and really has a sense of community that's maybe even more beyond a campus recreation gym or a community rec center. Unlike public recreation gyms, commercial gyms, nonprofit, and campus recreation centers, when it comes to those 4 types of facilities, you don't have to be doing the same thing as everyone else technically, and that's usually a pro. But maybe trying to find community that's something that's important to you may be harder to find. That's really what niche gyms are really kind of set as their foundation, is that everyone is set to do the same thing, same activity, same type of competition, or just heading the same way when it comes to like, this is what we're doing here during our time and space here. And so that allows for you to share similar experiences with people or go through those experiences at the same time, really foster a sense of belonging. And that's something that's important to you, or something that you're really looking forward and needing in your pursuit of your 2025 fitness goal, then that might be the perfect fit for you. Now, con, unfortunately, of these spaces is usually the cost. The cost is usually higher because these facilities are targeted for one type of demographic. The cost is going not just for membership, but also the gear you use at these spaces, if they host any competitions, and just continuing costs to support whatever the activity is are usually a lot more higher than just your traditional membership at a commercial gym, public recreation gym, and even a nonprofit gym. If you don't have or don't really anticipate to use your part of your budget and allocate some of those funds to these type of facilities, then maybe hold off on pursuing a niche facility or niche gym and go to a public recreation gym, commercial gym, or nonprofit gym if you're not a student that can attend a college campus recreation center. Not to say you can never go back to those niche gyms, but if you're trying to be cost effective, then maybe something to avoid for the time being. To review again, when it comes to the 5 types of facilities that you should consider when it comes to what space is going to be the most ideal and support me in pursuing this goal, it's going to be your commercial gyms, your public recreation gyms, your nonprofit gyms, your college campus recreation centers, if you have some affiliation, and then your niche gym. And just know that from someone that has worked in nonprofit gyms, public recreation gyms, and campus recreation centers, and being a member at a commercial gym and a niche gym, just as the 5 categories kind of show, is that you have options. And even if you sign up for a space that you think is going to be great and it ends up not being what you think, always know you can cancel when it comes to some of those contractual contractual agreements, usually maybe you need to give them a month notice, or maybe it's just like a 6-month window that you have to fulfill first. But always know that you have options and you don't have to stay somewhere if you don't want to. If you are all wanting for me to go into a lot more detail, because there is a lot more information to go about with either each type of gym or just kind of more information about things to know of each one, please let me know in the comments and I'll make sure to kind of make more information about those. I might just do it anyway because I have a few thoughts, but I wanted to make this video for all of you just so that way you know, okay, I have my goal. Again, if it's simple or complex, doesn't matter, you have a goal. Where do I go next? In my opinion and with my experience, I would say your next and most important task is to do some research based on your location, your current finances, your current capacity when it comes to time at the gym, what do you want to engage in, whether it's both in a recreation space, fitness space, or wellness space, and start seeing what do you have access to and what do you want to do at the end of the day. If you like this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll make sure to continue making more content. My name is Chris, and again, I am your recreation consultant, providing you tips, resources, and advice to help you achieve your fitness goals in 2025. Again, the gym is a space for everyone of all identities. Don't let anyone else tell you different. These spaces are meant for all of us, and they're meant for you, and I want to help you find the right location that's going to be what you want it to be to help you achieve your goals for 2025. So thanks for checking in, y'all, and I'll make sure to look through any comments y'all post. Thank you all so much for watching. Look out for the next one.